Shalom, Yashallah. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash, double honor to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone who grew well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that pushes great gospel and sincerity and truth. This is your brother Tazakai Yahweh from the Great Millstone Annapolis camp, coming at you another lesson through the spirit of power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. The Lord willing be edifying. Got the article here from The Guardian, and it reads, Sri Lanka unrest. Shoot on sight order issued as troops deploy in Colombo. It says fears grow path is being laid for a military takeover, although this was denied by top defense official. And this article came out Wednesday, May 11th, 2022, the year Yahweh Shai turned it up. And it reads, troops and armored vehicles have been deployed across the city of Colombo, and security officials given orders to shoot on sight anyone deemed to be participating in violence as anti-government protests continue to rock Sri Lanka. The crisis turned volatile earlier this week after pro-government supporters began attacking a camp of peaceful demonstrators who had been protesting against the government and the devastating economic crisis that has engulfed the island of 22 million people. As footage emerged on Wednesday of armored military vehicles in Colombo and military checkpoints being set up across the country, fears grow that the path was being laid for a military takeover. A nationwide curfew has done nothing to stop protesters gathering to demand the resignation of the president Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who stands accused of economic mismanagement and corruption that has left it in its worst financial crisis since independence. Security officials confirmed they have been ordered to use live ammunition on those found to be involved in violence or vandalisms, alleging that outbreaks of violence were a coordinated campaign. Now, if say live ammunition, I'm saying this right now, it makes to speak about it in the article, later on, but live ammunition could be like literally live bullets instead of using like the pellets and the the beanbag guns and the shooting the smoke grenades, whatever the case may be. This could be actual 5.56 caliber, 7.62, 9mm, so forth and so on for those who know calibers of bullets or weapons, right? It says 8 people have been killed and more than 200 injured in the violence that has ensued across the country since Monday's attack by pro-government supporters. Mahinda Rajapaksa, the brother of the president who resigned as prime minister on Monday following mounting public pressure, had to be evacuated at dawn on Tuesday from his official residence in Colombo after protesters tried to storm the building. He is currently sheltering at a naval base in the northeastern city of Trincomalee, Salaki if I pronounce it wrong. More than 100 buildings were set alight, including the homes of 41 pro-Rajapaksa politicians and a luxury hotel said to be owned by the Rajas, I'm just going to say that, as well as several buses that have been rumored to be used as transports for pro-Raja supporters. So here's a bus that looks like they were, for those supporters, burnt up. It says the resignation of Mahinda Rajapaksa on Monday means the government has been dissolved and there is no cabinet. The opposition refused to form a proposed unity government until Gotabaya Rajapaksa agreed to step down within the stipulated period and abolish the system of executive presidency. Forming an interim government is a matter of urgency for Sri Lanka, both to ensure the country's economic situation does not worsen further and to continue vital negotiations with the International Monetary Fund, which the country is relying on for financial support and billions in emergency loans. The central bank chief warned on Wednesday that Sri Lanka's economy will collapse unless a new government is urgently appointed, and said he will resign if an interim prime minister wasn't appointed within days. In an address to the nation on Wednesday night, Gotabaya Raja said he would appoint a new prime minister and cabinet within the week and promised to take steps towards abolishing the executive presidency, as was demanded by the opposition. However, he stopped short of resigning. After the country is stable under the new government, I will speak to everyone and create an environment for the abolishment of the executive presidency, says Rajapaksa. Many expressed concern that the military might try to step into the power vacuum left by the dissolved parliament. But speaking at a news conference, the defense ministry's top officials, Kamal Gunaratne, denied allegations of a military takeover. None of our officers have desired to take over the government. It has never happened in our country, and it's not easy to do it here, said Gunaratne. Sajit Premadasa, Slovakia, the leader of the main opposition SJP party, who has refused to participate in the government under the Rajas, accused the government of orchestrating mob violence in order to bring in martial law. In the guise of angry mobs, violence is being incited so military rule can be established, he said. Rule of law should be maintained through the Constitution, not with guns. It is time to empower citizens, not disempower them. You know, and people always try to speak all high and noble for the people. Then when they get involved, you know, they get into a position of power to do the same thing as the previous regime, or you do worse, you know. When it says the U.S. State Department expressed concern over the military deployment in Sri Lanka, we stress that peaceful protesters should never be subjected to violence or intimidation, whether that's on the part of the military force or civilian units, said a spokesperson Ned Price. On Wednesday, Pope Francis appealed for calm in Sri Lanka and for authorities to listen to the aspirations of the people. I offer a special thought to the people of Sri Lanka, in particular to the young, we bet, who in recent times have made their cry heard in the face of the country's social and economic challenges and problems, he said at the end of his weekly audience. And then they're going to ask you for some money, of course, how they be. So, you know, there we have it. You know, we got, you know, uproars of the people, you know, death and destruction, you know, martial law, maybe, you know, well, martial law as we see is underway over here, you know, just a catastrophic event. Now, as far as, you know, they talk about let's just see what's going to happen when they talk about the economic, you know, woes that the places, you know, going through, because just like over there that happened in, with, you know, the Ukraine or whatever, they issued a digital type of currency over there, whatever the case may be. Hey, this may be the same thing that happened over here. So we may have to keep an eye on that over here in Sri Lanka. You know, so yeah, that's pretty much, you know, like I said, also listen, like 8 people died, 200 injured. So, you know, definitely, hey, you know, it's definitely turning up, like, you know, as the year's been deacon through the spirit by Elder Apostle Taha. So we're going to go ahead and get into these scriptures. So, real quick, Salakia. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, starting at verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I had told thee before, right? So you measure the time diligently by doing what? Seeing the things that's going on in the world, whether it be on the news, on TV, a video, or an article, or whatever the case may be, and then you filter what's going on in the world through the scriptures. That's what the signs are. It's going into what? The prophecies, right? It says, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told you before, because we understand that this, what the Lord say is going to happen. You know, his word's going to prosper wherever he's sent to. It's just going to happen on his time, right? Verse 2, then shalt thou understand. Right, so when you see these signs come to pass, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And this is how he visits the world in many different ways. It could be by storm, you know, it could be by, you know, earthquakes, you know, famines, pestilences, uproars, earthquake, you know, it's like if I said that again, you know, just various things that pertains to the prophecies. Right, because his spirit is always around. He's in the midst. So it ain't like he went to sleep and he ain't paying attention to anything going on. The Lord Yahweh Shemashai's spirit is always present. Right? It says, verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, right, and uproars of the people in the world. This is an uproar of the people. That's why I talk about protesters. Violence should happen to protesters because they're having an uproar against their government. Uproar is going on right now with what? The Roe versus Wade, what's going on over here right now, and more uproars are going on around the world as we understand, as we can see. You can look it up. Uproars has been going on pretty much daily. But more and more and more, the value of them has been increasing and increasing through the passing of the years, right? It says this, then thou shalt well, now you shall well understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So everything was already declared. Like he said, he declared the end of the world before the beginning. So all things going to come to pass in this perfect, however the Lord aligned it for it perfectly, on his time, right? This is his movie. You know what I'm saying? We just actors. He's the producer, the conductor, he's controlling all things, right? We just hope that we be on the right-hand side of when these things come to pass, right? It says, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifested. And it is manifested and is to be made, is made known that we are in the end. We are in the end of the end. People say through the Spirit, we in the end times. I feel like we're in the end times, right? That's what they say, what they feel. But we understand having the secrets, declared up to us from Yahweh Shemashai through his Spirit. We know that we in the very end. You get what I'm saying? It says, verse 6, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And this is one of those powerful works. This is one of those wonders with what? When these prophecies come to pass. Endings and effects and signs. More things are coming, right? It's ending a sign. We're about to get another sign too. Another heavenly sign. It's going to be what they call a flower blood moon coming up tomorrow night. Then I think like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, there was a solar eclipse. You get what I'm saying? Just getting an example of these signs. More pestilences, more, like I said, more, hey, we already know about the incoming famine. All these things, right? Wars, stuff like that. Rumors of wars. All these things are going on right now, And we just, we hasten the day in the coming of Yahweh Shemashai again, like I said, hoping that we on that right-hand side, so that we don't be destroyed with the rest of the world. Now jump into chapter 15, 2nd Ezra verse 15. Start verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, right? We speaking to who's the people of Yahweh Shemashai? The Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? And the speckled bird, who look like the heathens, due to intermingling with them because we were scattered amongst them, right? Via the curses, right? They say, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh Shemashai. So none of the men of the Lord, none of the teachers, none of the prophets, none of the apostles, none of them is coming out of their own heart. None of them is speaking through their own will. They speaking through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shemashai. These are his words, right? And cause them be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Everything they said, that's why we have the scriptures. They written in the paper, and we understand that the words Yahweh Shemashai are faithful and true. So it says, fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, right? So don't care about people saying, y'all been saying this for years, or this is just something that always happens in the world, it's going to die down and go back to normal. We don't, just the people who don't believe, right? We don't care about if you believe or not. Because verse 4 say, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. The people who don't believe, hey, and it's talking to you Israelites, you don't believe, you're going to die. Point blank period. To the heathens, don't care what you say. Right, and we also don't care. Like I said, don't care about the 2/3 say either, because y'all looked at y'all are seen as heathens, right? To jump it down, Salakia, verse 14. Woe to the world, right? Destruction, calamities to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right, we understand. I'll go into the next verse and say, we understand that's gonna come to pass too when all the like the civil wars, and the social wars, and all those things pop off. Just like this situation right here. You got those who support the government. You had those who was not supporting it. So guess what? There was violence ensued. Right then and there, that was one people against another. Right, and here's the point: for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. So this individual, like I seen an article about this a couple of days ago, then they just gave more information. Well, there's more information coming out of now, but I seen that president or that prime minister, the one who resigned first, but they wanted to kill him. They was trying to kill him. That's why they said what? They set 100 buildings on fire. They didn't give a damn about this man. They want to kill him. They want to hurt him. That is an example of what they should not regard their kings nor princes in the course of their actions that stand in their power. It was in their power to do so. We want to get rid of this guy. And the example of your kings and your princes is who? Your presidents, your mayors, your senators, your representatives. Those people. Those are the ones who be regarded as kings and princes, and that's why one of them he need to get evacuated, and his brother is still there. But I guarantee you, they at his head too. They tell him, man, you need to leave. You need to set somebody else up, and we're not about to follow you. We're not gonna be under you. If you stay around here and stick around you in power, they gonna try to get you. So that right there is that example, right? You know what I'm saying? Because look, that sedition, that was somebody had to, hey man, somebody had to, hey, get these little signs, whatever the case may be. He probably was the one who organized everybody and was speaking these things and inciting the people and getting them up, roused up or whatever. Hey man, that's all part of prophecy. That's sedition, saying things to encourage, an uproar, and that's what happened in this situation, But that's why I say, man, they ain't gonna care. Oh, you ain't for the people. You ain't doing nothing good for it, man. They want to kill you, and then what happened? Right here, verse 17, a man shall desire to go to a city and shall not be able. Now look, now you got the military over there, like they said, martial law. They said they try to bring in martial law to do this or whatever the case may be, whatever they plan is supposed to be. Now when you got these people here, because what? They said what? Curfew. So you were supposed to be in the house at a certain time. You can't leave and do things and do whatever the case may be. You can't do whatever you want to do. But guess what? The people didn't hear that. They still was going out and doing what to do, causing havoc, or the case may be. Now here's the military here to put things in, put people at bay. Saying, oh, you don't want to listen? You want to do what we saying? Kill them on sight. Shoot them on sight. What I'm saying? So that's why I said they've been ordered to shoot on sight. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this happening in a different country right now. But again, all these things are examples to what's going to happen over here in Babylon the Great. Because Babylon the Great, which is AKA America, is going to get harder. You'll get hit harder than any of these other countries when it comes to these prophecies, these plagues that the Lord's going to send. So, hey, it's going to happen to a city near you real soon. But Lord, will you be on the right-hand side so that you don't get caught up in these things, right? But yeah, like I said, we read, like I said, I just was thinking, like, damn, they was lighting hundreds of buildings on fires, what they say, 8 people were killed. Hey, who knows those 8 people? Someone was politicians. Who knows? 200 wounded. Who knows if they were part of that cabinet? You know what I'm saying? That's again another example of them not regarding their kings nor princes, right? So. And then, like I said, now they got martial law over there, going to verse 17. So, hey, man, it's not looking too pretty over there, over whatever the case may be. And I want to get this with regards to the military, because, man, people, anybody come in here and mess around with you. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 70. For there shall be in every place in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, right? Which, we understand that the time period gonna come. They're gonna come after the men of the Lord. They're gonna come after those who believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They're gonna come at you. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna be persecuted. Some may be taken to concentration camps. Some may be beheaded. Whatever the case may be. Just understand that they're gonna come after you. Don't mean that, hey, if you get captured, don't mean you're gonna die. But just saying, be prepared that don't think, hey, nobody told me this is going to happen. Yeah, it was told to you that it may be a possibility that you believe in Yahweh Shem Shai, that they're going to come get you. If you look into the NDAA Act, it tells you that the prime enemies of the state, so to speak, are those, like the very first, number, the first dash, whatever what it said. It said the number one enemies, they speak about, they say is those who believe in the returning of Christ. They literally said that. So if you believe in the return of Yahushua HaMashiach, you are an enemy to the state. Number one. Then number 2, of course, are religious speakers and leaders and all this and that. But yeah, go look in that NDAA Act and they'll tell you that you believe in the return of the Savior, you are an enemy to the state. But you're not getting off topic. Here's the point. Verse 70. They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So these people that got called over there, the military, man, shoot on sight. They want to act up, kill them. Like I said, they not going to be sparing nobody. And like I said, when it happens over here in Babylon the Great, they definitely not going to be sparing nobody. The UN troops going to be over here, don't speak your language, don't know you, not your people, ain't going to give a damn about you. All they going to care about is, rounding your ass up or shooting you or killing you. So right here, this is showing the example of what's going to come to Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? With these troops, they say 5 rounds, fire. They don't want to leave, they don't want to listen, pop them. Not going to spare your ass. They got to talk to you, hey, it's okay, don't worry. No, they're going to shoot you. They're going to kill you. Right? And that's all I got on that. So, just want to end it, right here. This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, power and evil and only evil, behold, is come. Right? Only evil and bad times are coming. It ain't going to get no better. It ain't gonna be lightened up or dampened. No, it's gonna continue to get worse and worse and worse. Just like how Esau like to use gradualism. Hey, the Lord can do the same thing. Things gonna gradually get worse and worse and worse, and that's what we hoping and praying for. Because the worse it get, and when it gets to that climax, then what happens? The destruction comes to this place, and the elect are saved, and then we gonna be set up to reign in the righteous rulership, under Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. That's what we waiting on. Verse 6. And in this come. The end is come, and watch for thee, behold, it is come. So yes, we in the end. We in the latter of the end times. We in the latter of the end. The end started when Yahweh Shai is on the scene. That's when the end started. After he was crucified. So that was 2,000 years ago. How much more so now are we in the end and the end of the latter times right now? We understand that his return is around the corner. It is even at the door, right? Verse 25. Destruction cometh, right? Destruction is coming. Evil, bad times, lamentation, mourning, and woe. Scriptures also say what? And perilous times shall come, right? That's what those are the times that's coming. And the things that's going on, like what's going on in Sri Lanka, man, it's going to start happening around the world. But like I said, when it comes to Babylon the Great, best believe it's going to be far more worse, right? It's saying they shall seek peace, right? The people want peace. We need peace. We want this, we want that, for the people. And what the Lord say? And there shall be none. Ain't no peace coming nowhere. You may have a sense of peace. Things may not seem as hectic as it was the day before, or the case may be. But we understand that all things gradually as a whole is going to be worse. And destruction is coming. As the scriptures, as we just read the scriptures. Right? So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to sincere Akim by Akwaf out there listening. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, the honor to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that spreads the great gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom, Yasha Allah, Abai, Babal.